Probably I met a member or two of your family from Sacramento.
A childhood star who made millions laugh and plenty of money is now sleeping on the streets, refusing help, trapped by an invisible chain of depression, anxiety, and a plethora of other mental illnesses. This is the tragic downfall of Tylor Chase. But before we talk about how it all happened, do subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon for more deep dives into the darkest corners of celebrity lifestyle. Tylor Chase. For anyone who grew up watching Nick in the 2000s, Tylor Chase was not an unfamiliar name. He played Martin Qwerly on Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, where he played as a talkative, intelligent middle school student who appeared throughout the show's 3-season run from 2004 to 2007.
Forger, how do I meet him? Get a box of coconut macaroons.
He was born on the 6th of September 1989 in Phoenix, Arizona, and moved with his family to LA while starting his career in acting as a teenager in the early 2000s. His role on Ned's Declassified made him not only recognizable, but also someone most people thought was going to become Hollywood's next big thing. Beyond Nick, he even appeared on Everybody Hates Chris in 2005 and played young Adam in the 2007 independent film called Good Time Max. There, he was directed and starred by none other than James Franco. For quite some time, Tylor was living a lifestyle that most people yearned for, and kids loved his roles. Basically, the kid has purpose, recognition, and a future that seems more than just bright. But after the show ended in 2007, just like many child actors before him, his transition to life after fame started. And spoiler alert, it was tragic. The disappearance. After Ned wrapped, Tylor didn't double down on his fame as a lot of his co-stars did. Rather, he just went silent. He had voice work in 2011's video game L.A. Noire, playing a character named Hank Newburn. However, the steady work also dried up eventually. Then, he left LA and moved back to Georgia to live with his father. Then, in 2014, Tylor started a YouTube channel where he shared poetry along with his personal life experiences that he'd gone through in the past, specifically in Hollywood. He was open about living with bipolar disorder, which seems mild but is one of the most serious issues out there. He posted videos where he read his original poems and discussed some of his mental health struggles.
But right now I'm a magician who has misplaced his top hat and rabbit. No one comes to my shows anymore.
Some of the clips are just starting to resurface, and honestly, they are hard to watch. You can see that there's this young man trying to process pain, searching for meaning in his life, but ultimately struggling due to his mental condition. He also wrote 2 fantasy books during this period, working under an alias. But around 2021, even his mild online presence faded. Tylor disappeared completely from public view, and people started wondering where he went. For years, a lot of people were wondering what happened to him and had no idea what Tylor was up to. But then came September 2025, when everything changed in a heartbreaking way. Videos that changed everything. Videos started coming on the internet, specifically on TikTok, showing Tylor living unhoused on the streets of Riverside, California. In one of the viral clips, someone even approached him and asked him if he was the one who worked with Disney Channel. However, Tylor corrected them, saying he was on Nickelodeon. When asked which show, he responded, "Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide."
Yeah, I'm from heaven. Live on the clouds, not the sky.
You sure, my
It's literally the
boy?
sky.
The person filming everything seemed a bit shocked, asking how he actually ended up on the streets. Tylor's responses to his interviews were largely disjointed and quite difficult to comprehend. He mentioned Chase Bank, references the Persian princess, and Syria. His mental health, which was already quite disoriented, seemed to have been unstable. His whole appearance changed, and this new state was much more painful to watch. This clip spread rapidly across social media, igniting concerns, curiosity, and debate about Hollywood's dark side. Moreover, there was also a wave of people angry in the internet's comments section, saying that filming without someone's consent is something that shouldn't be done. Devin Werkheiser, the actor who played Ned on the show and hasn't had contact with Tylor since 2007, told TMZ that Tylor was a sensitive, sweet, and kind kid. He was quite heartbroken to see him that way, and even acknowledged that addiction and mental health struggles were the main reasons why Ned ended up without a house. Then came Danielle Curtis Lee, another co-star, who spoke on their podcast about his initial reaction. He said that after he saw the clip, he was quite angry at the person recording Tylor. He even said he felt completely helpless in this situation, and it's sad. Moment of hope. Then came December 2025, when Daniel actually took some action. He drove about 50 miles from LA to Riverside and found Tylor. In an emotional video shared with TMZ, Daniel spent the day with the former co-star, walking around, catching up over pizza, and eventually checking him into a motel. Daniel just wanted to make sure Tylor had somewhere safe to stay, especially with a huge Southern California rainstorm approaching. For a moment, things seemed like they could be improving. However, it was from that. Around the same time, a GoFundMe campaign was launched, raising $1,207. Shaun Weiss, the Mighty Ducks star who had publicly overcome his own struggles with addiction and homelessness, even reached out with offers to help. He announced on social media that he reached out to some of his friends and had a bed for him at a detox, a place to stay, and also get long-term treatment. Multiple people were trying to help him, resources were being assembled, and it looked like Tylor might finally get the support that he always needed. However, reality is often different from what appears on the surface. Before we reveal what happens next, please subscribe to the channel if you want videos where we uncover the darkest side of Hollywood, the attempt to help.
Tylor Chase, he's a former Nickelodeon star from Neds Declassified School Survival Guide. Videos on social media, I've seen it on Instagram.
The reality then set in. The GoFundMe was shut down, not by the public, not even by Tylor himself, but by Tylor's mother, Paula Moisio. According to reports, she said that Tylor needs medical attention and not money. Moreover, he refuses every attempt at money that is given to him. She said she had gotten him several phones, but he ended up losing them within a day or two. This reveals something that most people ignore or don't understand about severe mental illnesses. The thing is that you cannot just throw money at the problem. You can't offer someone a bed and expect to solve everything. When someone is experiencing untreated bipolar disorder, along with substance use issues, their ability to make rational decisions just isn't there. Their own well-being becomes severely compromised due to that. The Riverside Police Department also confirmed that they are very familiar with Tylor and have interacted with him at least once a week for every week that he's been out there. Ryan Railsback, the public information officer, explained that RPD has a specialized outreach division that regularly engages with unhoused individuals, offering mental health services, drug and alcohol treatment, and providing them with a temporary shelter. According to the police, Tylor has been offered countless services like that, but he always turns them down. But here's the difficult part about this whole situation. Under California law, the police can only involuntarily detain someone if they're deemed gravely disabled or even become a danger to themselves or society. Tylor was also placed on a 72-hour psychiatric hold after an incident on Christmas Day 2025. Jacob Harris, a local barbershop owner who had been helping coordinate care, told the outlets that he had to do something. He found a crisis center that would come out and do an on-site evaluation. The 72-hour hold meant that Tylor basically received mental attention at a hospital near Riverside before being transferred to a rehabilitation facility. What happens after that? He no longer met the legal threshold for rehabilitation detention. So, what happens after? Well, he must be released. And if he chooses to leave treatment legally, it's entirely up to him. Painful position. This creates an impossible situation for everyone who is involved. This includes friends, family, former co-stars, and even strangers who want to help him. No one can do anything about the situation legally. Shaun Weiss, who successfully overcame his own battles with addiction and homelessness, posted an update that Tylor has been taken to a facility by a mental health crisis team. He even explained that Tylor is not well, and he requires care beyond the scope of standard detox facilities. He basically needed weeks to stabilize. Weiss even emphasized that the need to respect Tylor's privacy during the treatment was something that was necessary. But here's the heartbreaking truth about this whole situation. Recovery can only be done if a person wants it and is willing to improve. When bipolar disorder or similar mental health issues are untreated, the person's ability to recognize that they need help also goes away. They may genuinely believe that they're fine and that everyone else is the problem. In other words, they said, treatment is useless. Motel room incident. Moving back to the motel room provided by Daniel Curtis Lee, who met Tylor and settled the past with him, things got weird really quickly. Tylor allegedly trashed the room, leading to the crisis intervention that resulted in his 72-hour hold. This isn't unusual behavior for someone who is involved in a mental health crisis. These patients don't care that someone secured you a motel room, and whether a former co-star drove miles to meet him, it just doesn't let them completely understand kindness or even the temporary fixes. Effective treatment requires consistent medical care, medication management, therapy, and even supportive housing, which was quite difficult in Tylor's case. The question that most netizens keep asking is, why can't someone just force Tylor to face the treatment? The answer is complex and is rooted in both legality and ethics. Modern California law seeks to balance civil liberties with public safety. The standard for involuntary commitment is high, and many would argue so. But it means people like Tylor fall through the cracks of society. They're not quick enough or sick enough to be held under care, yet they are too sick to effectively ask for help or even help themselves. Child actor issue. Devin Werkheiser, the American actor, said something important, discussing Tylor's situation. He said that when you're a kid actor, you have purpose, drive, and everything needed to become successful. But when that ends, what happens? What do you replace that with? They try to fill that emptiness with a lot of other habits, like drugs, alcohol, attention-seeking behavior, and various other sorts of addictions. For Tylor, after Ned's declassification ended, he didn't transition into a successful actor like some of his co-stars did. And when we add bipolar disorder into the equation, it's a disastrous combo. From severe depression, manic episodes, to poor decision-making abilities, things just get worse and worse. As of late December 2025, Tylor was receiving medical care during his 72-hour psychiatric hold, with plans to transfer to a rehabilitation facility. To this date, his issue is unsolved. And so far, Riverside County has received 8 criminal cases against Tylor from 2025 alone, mostly related to shoplifting items worth less than $950 and being under the influence of uncontrolled substances. This pattern is ongoing and not stopping until something changes from within. What do you think is Tylor's future? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more videos like these, do give us a sub.